Hey there, welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. I'm excited to tell you another story about Billy Bob the Knight. This one starts as he was taking a little rest. What the? Oh. Someone's at the door. So Billy Bob made his way over to the door. And he opened the door, and you know who was there? Kenny the koala, Stanley the skunk, and Porky. Now, as you know, Porky was a porcupine, not a pig. And Billy Bob said, "Whatever are you all doing at such an early time in the morning?" And they said, "Billy Bob, we had to come over because something quite strange happened. You see, we were having one of our little book clubs where we would read a book and talk about it and discuss and eat wonderful little morsels of food. You know, like biscuits and things like that. But, you see, something happened." Billy Bob said, "Well, what happened?" And Porky said, "Well, as we were there and we were eating our food and talking about the book, suddenly there was a flash. I mean, not like of light or anything, but just like a whirlwind. Something went whoosh, and suddenly all the biscuits were gone. And I'm quite sad because they were good biscuits. You see, at first I wondered if maybe Kenny had something to do with it because of last time. But he didn't. He was there the whole time, and he was just as confused as us. He actually was right in the middle of explaining to us about one of his inventions. We had taken a break from the books, you see. He was explaining something. What was it, Kenny? Kenny said, "Well, it was about my new thing. I call it the cold box. It keeps food lasting longer. It's very good for keeping chocolate at a nice temperature. But, you see, I crank it with my hand, but I don't necessarily know how to power the thing. So anyways, I was explaining it to them and seeing if they had any ideas when this thing happened." Billy Bob said, "I wonder what took all your food." They said, "We don't know." Billy Bob said, "Let's go to the scene of the crime." So they went there, and Billy Bob noticed that whoever the thief was not very good at covering his tracks. Now, his tracks were not very noticeable. They were quite small, but there were lots of crumbs to follow. So they followed the crumbs. It's amazing how in all these scenarios, when people stole the different kinds of food, they always leave crumbs. Quite interesting. Billy Bob and the others followed the trail until finally they came to this small little house. It was probably about this tall. It was very nice. It had nice red brick, and it had a nice little tile roof, and there was even a very nice little statue out front. The statue was odd. It almost looked like a little mouse or something like that. Billy Bob got down on his knees and said, "Whoever's in there, come out." And all of a sudden, the statue came to life. Or maybe that little thing was just standing there and being quiet. And it said, "My name is Harold the Hamster. Are you some big giant ready to fight me? Because if so, I'm ready to fight you. On guard. Da 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 da." Billy Bob was like, "Whoa, that's a hamster. Those things are small." Billy Bob said, "Hey there, buddy. You see, I'm here checking in on some stolen food, and I wondered if maybe you could help." And the hamster was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I would not take any food." Billy Bob said, "I think you did, because now that I look at your face, you have crumbs all over it." And the hamster was like, "No, I don't." Billy Bob said, "Come on, tell me the truth." Hamster said, "I did, but I still will fight you. You said your name is Billy Bob?" Billy Bob said, "Yes, and I don't want to fight you. I mean, I'm a knight. I fight dragons." And the herald said, "Dragons? I fight dragons too." Actually, I guess I don't actually fight dragons. Billy Bob, why don't we think about being friends? If you fight dragons, I definitely don't. And Billy Bob said, "Well, we could be friends, but you're going to have to make it up to these guys." And Harold looked at them and he said, "Well, however can I make it up to you?" And Kenny said, "I might have an idea." And as he said that, Porky said, "I'm not sure anything can make it up. Stealing biscuits is quite an offense." And Kenny said, "Calm down, Porky. I think I might have something for him." So they went back to Kenny's place, and Kenny showed them all this cold box to keep things nice and chilly. And Kenny said, "You see, I figured out how to power this thing, but I have to crank it with my hand. And being a koala, I'm not necessarily the fastest at cranking things. But, my friend, you seem pretty fast. I wonder, let me work on something." And in just a matter of minutes, he had this little wheel made. And he said, "Step in, Harold." And Harold stepped in, and he started running. And all of a sudden, everything in the freezer was the cold box that also was called the freezer, it was completely frozen. And Kenny said, "Wow, that's amazing." And Harold was like, "This is kind of fun, like running." And Harold said, Kenny said, "Harold, you know what? I will make a deal with you. If you run in here, then I will make sure that you have as many biscuits and chocolate and croissants and scones as you could desire." And Harold said, "That's a pretty good deal. And that way, too, I'm not taking food from people when I'm not supposed to, but I'm actually helping out." And so, it was known far and wide within the kingdom that Kenny the koala had the first working cold box or freezer. He said that it was a big moment. Barry the brown bear, I have heard, is trying to figure out how to get his own too, but that is beside the point. Kenny is quite a successful scientist. So it worked out that they discovered who took the food. And more than that, they figured out how to power this cool new contraption. Porky was still pretty unhappy about, the food being taken. But at the end of the day, when he realized that this new contraption would make nice sweets last longer, he was on board. That is, after he had a few biscuits to calm him down. He was like, "I'm still angry about I mean, I guess I'm not quite as angry. You know what? Harold's a really good guy." Anyways, so Harold would go to work each day, keeping that nice contraption running, and he would even sometimes join for those nice little book parties, or, like the book review things. But I digress. Everything was back as it should be, and Billy Bob went home. And he thought, I did a lot of moving around today, and I have chocolate smeared all over me. Don't really know why. So I guess I'll take a bath. Splish splash, I was taking a bath all about a Saturday night. A rubber tubber just relaxing in the tub, thinking someone was at the door. But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.